Hi, I'm Alan Kenny and this is Musical Musings. This is part 2 of our 3-part series on drummer influences. Today I will be talking about Chad Smith. Chad, along with Ray Luzier and Alex Van Halen, are 3 of the biggest influences in my drumming. And today I'm going to be talking a little bit about his history and how he's influenced me over the years. Chad was born on October 25th, 1961 in St. Paul, Minnesota. He spent most of his childhood in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. Chad started drumming at the tender age of 7, and after graduating high school went on to play in a lot of local Michigan bands. After achieving success locally, Chad decided to move to Los Angeles to pursue his musical career full-time. Shortly after settling in Los Angeles, Chad enrolled in the Musicians Institute College of Music. The path of higher musical education, however, was not to last for long, as a major audition loomed in his near future that would change the course of his musical career. Shortly after enrolling in MI, Chad heard word through the grapevine that the Red Hot Chili Peppers were looking for a new drummer. When Chad showed up for the audition, the members of the band weren't too impressed with his image. He looked more like a hair metal drummer than the punk vibe that they were looking for. All doubts were put to rest, however, when Chad started playing the drums, and the rest, as they say, is history. Once Chad was a permanent member of the band, they didn't waste any time. Shortly after, they recorded Mother's Milk. This album really put Chad on the map. Drummers started to sit up and take notice of Chad's hard-hitting funky grooves. But it wasn't until they recorded Blood Sugar Sex Magik in 1991 that they became household names. From here on in, the Chili Peppers went from strength to strength. They've gone through a number of lineup changes over the years, but have remained popular to this day. Of course, not only is Chad famous for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, he is also a member of other groups, such as Chickenfoot and the Bombastic Meat Bats. Chad has also played session drums for a number of different artists, such as Johnny Cash, Glenn Hughes, and the Dixie Chicks, just to name a few. It's no secret that Chad Smith has a celebrity lookalike in Will Ferrell. The two have played up on this joke and have used it for a number of different celebrity events for charity. Chad has been involved in the making of a number of percussion instruments over the years for different companies. Mainly a free-floating snare drum for Pearl, and the Holy China for Sabian. I first started taking notice of Chad Smith back in the early 90s. I was still very much into hair metal and hard rock, but as soon as I heard the album Blood Sugar Sex Magik, it totally changed the way I looked at rock music and my approach to drumming. Up to this point in my drumming, I thought you had to have flashy fills to be a good drummer. But as soon as I heard Chad Smith, I realized there was a different approach that made a lot more sense. More grounded, straightforward, groove-orientated drumming that still had a very rock, solid foundation. Around this time, Chad released a drum instructional video called Red Hot Rhythm Method. Now this was also very focused on groove-orientated drumming and basically playing for the song. Here's a clip from Dave Letterman in the 90s where the Red Hot Chili Peppers were musical guests of the show. And on this occasion, Chad had happened to break his arm, so you can see it's pretty impressive how he's able to play the drums here with a cast on one arm and still hold down a good groove.
This is their new CD right here. It's called One Hot Minute. Ladies and gentlemen, LA's own Red Hot.
So basically, after coming out of the hair metal and hard rock from the 80s and early 90s, Chad Smith turned me around to a different style of drumming, and that's why he's my second most influential drummer of all time.